Hey, sorry about that. Tends to happen once in a while with the internet here. I don't know. I reset the modem before I started, but that's kind of the extent of what I can do. It cuts out occasionally, so sometimes you have to go back and forth. If it cuts out again, all I do is hit retry on the restream, and sometimes it reconnects, and sometimes it has to open in a new window. I don't know why it does that. I'm not a very I don't have a lot of tech expertise. Hey Joe. Yeah, it cuts out sometimes. All I can do is hit the restart or retry button on my end, and like I said, sometimes it fixes itself, sometimes it doesn't. I remember this show existing, but I can't say I ever watched it. I've had people talk about it, but I honestly never watched it. In that age, you were supposed to have watched it, right? No worries, Kevin. Always good to hear from you, man. And thanks for the kind words. I will catch you later. Thanks, Joe. Because this was a Warner Brother tune, wasn't it? Wasn't this on at like the same time as Batman the Animated Series and all those? I think I even remember some of like the theme song. Wasn't it just like, didn't they just say Freakazoid over and over again? Wasn't that how most of those old theme songs worked? Jim Carrey, The Mask. I like The Creeper. I was never into The Mask. I didn't even really like the comic book, to be honest, the Dark Horse book. I think it was in Dark Horse Presents with like Sin City and all that stuff. You were proud of me. Okay. I don't know what you mean, but how did I get involved with the Tick? Well, originally I did a pitch while I was in college to work on the Tick. I did a storyboard pitch, I did sample pages, I did all kinds of stuff. I wrote a full script, and it was terrible, and they rejected it, and rightfully so. But there was a point where Jeff McClellan, who's the current writer of the book, had a backup story, and I did the backup story, and one year they were a few pages short on a book, and they put it in, and that was kind of like my foot in the door moment. And from then on, they threw me the occasional, backup stories, and then it went to specials and all kinds of stuff. We're working on something right now that hopefully you guys will hear about soon. Thanks, Ellie. This is not necessarily a character that. Oh, you're very welcome, Jerry. Thanks for popping in. Not necessarily a character I would ever draw for myself, but make somebody happy during these times. I'm happy to do it. That would be an interesting exercise to draw it in what I would consider my own natural style. It would probably just look like a deranged person with like big crazy hair, but it might be fun to draw. Who did I draw last time? It was a Pixar character, a rabbit police officer lady. I've never seen that movie, but I had fun drawing that character. Very well designed. There's definitely stuff from this era that, works the nostalgia for me. Like I liked Pinky and the Brain when I was a kid quite a bit. It was on around the same time, I want to think. What's weird about this to me is like it's almost impossible to tell where the light source is just because of how simple the lines are. Yes, Judy. I've never seen Zootopia, but very well designed character. That was actually for a lady who I went to high school with, who's now a police officer. She's out there dealing with all the craziness going on in her neck of the woods. Hadn't spoken to her since graduation. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, Ali, look forward to checking that out. Do it in your own style, yeah, for sure. Copying pictures is no fun. It's one of the reasons why I like all those style guide gigs that I've done. You're really just copying pictures. Hey, Lawrence, hold on, I'll add you to the list. Lawrence Gessler. You can almost cross off the third. One thing I will say about the Warner Brothers characters is they do go pretty quick. Don't want to over render, so I'm probably just going to do a couple of flat grays. Cameron McNeil. See, another TV one. It's going to come out bad. I'm sorry. Thanks, Lawrence. Brian Langley. Spider-Man. That's a fun one. I do tend to write in cursive. I know not a lot of people do it, but I still do. It's either comic script or cursive, like comic print. Like I'm lettering a comic, it's in all caps. Which it might be genetic. My father actually writes in what is considered small caps, where he'll write a word like the word there, and it'll be, like big uppercase, but they're all uppercase. Thank you. I'm going to pretend like the light source is behind him. Oh, that's cool, Joe. I think that's all I'm really going to do for this one, because I don't want to over-render it, because it's a Warner Brothers tune. I might add just a little bit in the background. There we go. One freakazoid. There, I can stand it back up again. See, we have some new people. Some of these I do at night after the fact, or I'll do them, tomorrow on my lunch break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip to the people that are new, and then I will do the other ones as I go back. Like I'll do them in order, like new people in order, and then everybody else. We got Calvin and Hobbes, one for Kim. Sheriff Morgan has gotten one. See, this is where I'll get confused. I should just do them in order. I'll just do them in order. See, I thought about that, but then I can't remember who got one last time because my brain's a little mushy. Plus, I think people will like Godzilla. Doesn't everyone like Godzilla? See, I would love to have music on in the background, but unless, somebody's in a band and can give me permission that, I can't really play other people's music. It's all copywritten and whatnot. Mechagodzilla is cool. I tend to think people were, some people get introduced to these movies usually when they're kids. I know I did. Thanks, Ali. Have a good night, man. Good luck with your Dragon Ball Z drawing. Nah, it's okay. Own it. Amazing as you am always. Sounds better that way. I think it does. Go with it. I don't know if I have the brain power for copying this many pictures tonight. Yeah, thanks, Brian. It's very nice of you. I don't know what it is today. I just don't have the focus that I had. I mean, the copying style guides or looking at photos, that just takes practice. And I think that's a skill that they still teach in art schools and like public art schools. They teach you how to do grid drawings. I mean, and that's basically what I have to do in my head with this is kind of picture the grid here and the grid here and try to copy the two over. I don't really like this one. Oh well. Did I miss a question? No. Just for the composition, I'm gonna draw some like bullets being shot up at him.